Okay, we are into episode 37 of the 248k run on a Ribbon World with a little city grid. We've got some logibots now, so in between, kind of set up some more of these things. We're making a bunch of useful stuff. Making some tier 2 shotgun shells because I like those. We've got some legs made. We're making personal batteries. Yeah, we're making. These guys don't have LDS or blue chips, but that's okay. We're just like those things are being delivered. Yeah. And so yeah, so we've just researched some new armor. We can now build, kind of. Where is it? Here. We can now build this thing. We've got all of these parts, kind of. The speed and efficiency modules are down here, waiting for module cores, which are those module cores. No, module cores are even further out. Yeah, module cores aren't actually in the network yet, but they will be soon. But that's okay. We've got some other things to do. I think we're going to spend mostly this episode pottering around, sorting some things out, building up stocks of things like rockets. And then, oh yeah, because the other, yeah, fancy energy shields. Things like this that are going to take, yeah, 600 kilowatts. I'm not going to be able to do that with the 30 kilowatt solar panels that I have, but that's okay. Because the plan there is going to be, where is this? It's like a fancy mod thing, isn't it? Portable nuclear reactor. So we don't have the nuclear reactor. I could actually just could I request this? Do I have everything? I don't think I have the natural fiber reinforced plastic. But also, that's not a thing we need to worry about yet. This will assemble the stuff in. We'll assemble some of the stuff in between episodes. We've got to go and look at the blue chips first, because there's a couple of things to do about that. Where is it? I guess the rail station is down here. Yeah, I don't know if all of that logibot stuff is going to stay there. Let's have... Yeah, let's just... Do we want to keep making landmines? We've got a couple of thousand. Let's keep making landmines. Let's have this request steel. Quite a lot of steel apparently, and then tie this thing to this chest and say this inserter will run if there are less than... I don't need a lot of them at this point. So that's not even going to run at the moment because I've already got a bunch. But later we can have some more of those. Cliff explosives. Do I? Okay, so I've got enough cliff explosives. Not super worried about that. I can get to a rail up here. Yeah. Couple of things I wanted to do today, not really having any great idea of what we're doing at the moment. Actually, let's go over here first, because we've got the purple and yellow science. We can go and research a bunch of stuff. We're going to go take some territory, but we want to get some weapons upgrades first. We want this one, and then also the explosive damage one. And then we want to get our new suit of armor. We want to get a bunch of PDLs and that kind of stuff. I'm over here because these request chests want to turn into a logistics request for fuel. Yeah, and then also these ones probably want to be provider chests. Oh, and I specifically wanted the uranium fuel rods. That's kind of the point. This thing does not have a request. So let's run through here and set these guys up as well, because all of these things, yeah, this is also why I have this corrosive solution on me, is to be able to... I already have that configuration in the clip, don't I? There we go. And then those things are also not... Yeah, so this is now all logistic requests, so that's nice. I don't think we have fuel in the network either, so let's go and see the fuel which is getting made here. Yeah, we'll go and set some things up. There's some blue chip stuff I realized I needed to change. I think we want to also... I think today's goal is going to be automating red and blue belt, because we don't have any of that so far. We're like nearly 40 hours into a run. We have entirely yellow belt and rail stuff, so that's cool. Oh, these guys are already in there. Okay. In that case, you guys... In fact, is that true? I don't need a lot of this stuff anymore. You can just request, 100 of those things. Do we have... I mean, these guys could also request, couldn't they? There's so much in there, though, it's not even a problem. Let's have this one request 100 of these things. Because this one is going to empty last, which means all these ones will empty, and then this one will start to kick off its requests. This is, I've got so much fuel at the moment. This is also probably a pretty good place to drop the centrifuge that we're going to use to make the plutonium. And this is why we have consumed uranium fuel rods. You take, get that cycle done. I will get out one piece of plutonium, which will let me make, where is it? Yeah, one piece of plutonium, which will let me make one high-energy MOX fuel rod, which will let me make, with the nuclear reactor that I haven't crafted yet, 6 portable nuclear reactors, which will be the power grid we use for this armor suit with the personal defense lasers and exoskeletons and, you know, fancy energy shields and all that kind of stuff. Because solar panels aren't going to cut it, and fusion is a long way away. This thing over here is what I need to sort out pretty quickly. I discovered, kind of accidentally, there's a bit of a problem with the way that I've set the blue chips up that I think I mostly avoided in most of the other cases where I was doing this. But here we've got a problem. Because this train here is running full to empty in the way that it's supposed to. Let's actually rearrange some of these and then send it off. Because the problem was, and the problem still is, these chests, which are the first to empty, are the ones that are being checked by the combinator to signal the station being on or off. And that's not what we want. We want to check these ones here, which will be the last to be checked. Or the last chests to empty. So at the moment we have, a lot of red chips waiting to be turned into blue chips, which is, is cool. On the other hand, the train is stopping here because this thing was not turning itself off. So we need to disconnect all of these guys from the network, and then connect this pole. Actually, this one, this is now, that's now not got any inputs, which is good. And then if we connect it to this thing, 24K, so we've got 24K circuits in here, which is, so many more than we need. Then we've also got these ones and also these ones. So we've got about 50,000 things, which is a bit of a shame. Oh yeah, train fuel. Train fuel is also a thing that changed, that I did more of in between the episodes. I think most places now have this train fuel request thing, which is pretty good. And then these stations, where are you? Oh, you're not doing anything here. These stations we're still going to keep, so that we've got trains taking bulk fuel to a couple of places around the map. I think we're up to some large number of bots here as well. Yeah, because we needed just more bots to populate all those things. I think was it the petrochem that still had? Yeah, so we're also just putting energy crystals into the network in a couple of different places, and then stuff like, I spent a bit of a while just doing kind of stuff like this, like we don't need these anymore. This guy's got a fuel request here, this one has a fuel request here, this one has a fuel request here. Oh, the acid actually doesn't. Let's add one to the acid train, so now the acid train will have stuff. Does this? Yeah, this one does. Wait, is that is a regular box. That is not actually a requester box, but it's fine. Then all of these things can go away. Yeah, this is what we wanted to be doing today, isn't it? This is neither fixing the blue chips nor addressing. Yeah, then this full feed can go through because it's the one that feeds the train that takes things to other places. Yeah, so that's the first thing to change about the blue chips. Train fuel here, train fuel here. Yeah, train fuel in a lot of places, which is pretty good. The next thing I realized is, I'm pretty sure all of these, they just have way more green circuits than I really need, which means that I could be getting more stuff for free, especially as all these guys are beaconed, by having prodmod 3s in the green chips, which is already pretty good value. Like, green chips are a pretty high value recipe. We're getting a lot of crafting speed on this. Upgrading these to prod 3s will save a lot of general materials, and then I think because of that, because the tier 3 prod mods are going to reduce our speed by a lot more than the tier 1 prodmods will. I think we can change these coils to also be tier 1 prodmods. So speed 1 to productivity 1 on these guys and these guys. And then other than the fact that we don't have any copper coming through at the moment, which is also a bit of a concern, yeah. Then I think the other thing I was wondering about was whether or not I could move some of these labs around to be able to get even more beacons on these things, but whatever. We're not going to worry about that yet. Okay. Yeah, that's I guess one thing that there isn't actually hitbox space between the beacon and the lab. Interesting. Sure. Okay. Next thing, well, we're kind of waiting for all these parts to turn up, and yeah, we're gonna go do the science again. Yeah, well, all of that should probably work. Where is this copper drain? Do I need more copper mining? Maybe I just need more copper mining. Maybe I just need more copper trains. I mean, if there is copper mining here that I can just drop. So there is a lot of... Oh, this guy is... That's been like that forever, hasn't it? It probably doesn't matter that much. Like, this Inserter was probably going to grab all of it, but it's going to annoy me. Yeah, these guys are... I probably just need more copper trains at this point. I mean, trying to do everything with 2 trains, even with a bunch of stack inserters, like, that's nice, but trying to do that much with just 2 trains is probably going to be an issue. And yeah, there's some more places we can drop some copper smelting. I could go copper smelting, just have another couple of belts of, or even just put it back on this train. I guess I could thread it in here, but I'd rather have distinct stations. Anyway, things I was going to do over here. Yeah. So one of the things I realized, yeah, let's actually wander over to this other square first. I'm thinking about how these, I don't do those anymore, thinking about how these, so we've got, yeah, can't really, let's do this, yeah, we'll be able to see them slightly better on the ground over here, but only just. Yeah, realizing that these beacons are different sizes, and one of the things about, yeah, having to reorganize things through a bunch of these larger beacons, one of the things that struck me is, like, there's a couple of patterns where, do I have assembler 3s on me at the moment? I don't. I guess we're demonstrating this with chemical plants. Yeah, that I could, or centrifuges, that I can have built here, but also these beacons have range 4, so I could even have these back a bit and have double layers of belt and still properly centrifuge, properly beacon a lot of things. But also because these things are range 4, like usually, let's do this with ghosts, it'll be easy to pick up afterwards. Usually you arrange the beacons to be offsets so that you can spread as many things as possible. But when these things have range 4, we actually want to line them up with machines exactly, because the range 4 means it will hit 5 things on each side. So this was, yeah, this kind of thing here is one of the patterns that I was wondering, like, what I could do with this that was really good, especially given I don't think I have all that many beacon. Yeah, I am at the maximum number of beacons I can be. So we can't do, yeah, well, that's gonna have to change. The thing I then realized, and I think we're gonna do this probably, yeah, is if I have 2 beacons here like this second beacon that's further away is also hitting both of these machines. So I could have collections of beacons of things like this and still have input belts on one side. The issue with this is there aren't many recipes where this is, even if these were red belts, where this is enough belt space to get all the inputs and outputs done. So then I realized, what if I had a build that didn't need outputs, and that I was also kind of annoyed that only used tier 1 beacons, and could we do all of that differently? And, you know, we're over by the labs, the answer to that is yes. So I think we're going to blitz all of this again. Let's just put a bunch of boxes over here, because what we're going to do is, yeah, first of all, I think we're also just going to just straight up logibot all of the labs, because then, yeah, then we don't even, what did I do this side first? I could have, never mind. Then we don't need to worry about belt capacity at all, and we don't need to worry about passing these science packs between the labs. And, you know, a bit of a shame that we kind of only just put these labs down and we're going to tear them up again. But let's start by... You know what? I've put these storage tanks down here. We don't really care. Let's have a copy of that thing. But then we're just going to blast this entire thing, and bots are going to have a good time. Don't delete the storage chests. It's quite important to not delete those storage chests. This is going to make everything... Yeah, we can have everything nearby rather than further away. All the inserters and belts and things like that are going to go back to kind of the main base. But all of the science packs and prodmods and things are just going to end up over here, which is going to be a whole lot easier to deal with later. Because the pattern I want is... Yeah, kind of not even two labs next to each other like that. We want to go lab, lab, beacon, beacon, and then also lab, lab. And then... How am I powering these beacons? Because if I'm doing big stacks of these things, and the point is we're going to be doing big stacks of these things, like these beacons are now doing a lot of work each. They're going to be hitting like 10 labs each, and these are the tier 2 beacons, which have a pair of speed modules. Yeah, twice the effectiveness of the basic modules. I think I need to substation this, which means I think I need just two requester chests here. And then we can do... If we spread them out like this, then I can also get a substation. Do I have substations? In here. So that's actually working really well. Okay, so let's set up some requests. Yeah, this means that we're going to have... Okay, 200 each of these, because we've got a lot of these. It's fine. I think I only do 100... Actually, let's do 100 for military science as well, because there aren't a whole lot of things that need military science. We'll do 100 for yellow science, because actually that's completely incorrect. I don't want those at all. Yeah, don't deliver that stuff. I did that wrong. We want green and red, the opposite way around to what I said them, whatever. We'll put military science here as well, and we'll also put blue science here as well. And then in the other chest, because we've got two chests, this is where we'll put 100 purple and 100 yellow. And then not very much of this beacon science, because I don't have very much. And I don't think there are many things I need it for. And yeah, then I also realized that I actually haven't put these... This is the pattern I want, but it's not in the place that I want. So first of all, let's slap in a couple more roboports, because these things are really going to enjoy having roboport support. Is here a good position? Sure. And then let's have like one here, and these guys are now kind of in the way, but whatever. This is... Are these things actually evenly spaced? Kind of, no. Do I mind? I don't think I do. I think we're just going to leave it like... So. And then where are these things lined up? Over here. There? Yeah, there. Okay. So we're going to have a bunch of roboport coverage. Actually, the question now is, can I fit this thing? Because I also want... Like, these labs need their requester chests as well. So the other nice thing about this is this scales really well, because I can just slap more of these things on. But the thing I'm wondering is, can I get 2 columns of this stuff in? The answer to that is yes. So that's pretty fantastic. I don't think we want this side yet. I don't think... Yeah, we're just going to worry about this, because this is how we get a ton of beacons in. And actually, these ones don't want to start with beacons. But then we want to go... Okay, fine. Get rid of these things. This request I actually want to keep. But yeah, so hopefully we've got that request thing done. Oh wait, labs are here. I can just dump all of this stuff in here. That's not even too much stuff, it'll be fine. So yeah, so these two are... Oh, this one is right up against the robot. Is that what happens when we're over here as well? If I use different requester chests, maybe we just use different requester chests for symmetry. We'll worry about that later, yeah, because we wanted more of this pattern, in fact. We're just going to do all of this again based on these ones, because these ones have... Yeah, these ones have the request chests, the request set that we want. Then we want another pattern like so, and then we want to mirror this. And then we want substations. Here. Yeah, so then when we put more things on the other side, that'll also work pretty fine. And then we're... Yeah, what are we connecting to? We are connecting to at least some things. And this is now fine? Oh, we don't have... These guys don't have their inserters as well. But yeah, this is pretty much what we expect to happen once we've got... Is that true? That's not quite true. Why are these guys taking things from provider chests? I was expecting these things to be picked up from these storage chests. Ah, they are getting picked up from the storage chests, but the logistics bots doing these pickups from the storage chests are coming from further away across the map. So, yeah, so that's going to be part of the thing. Do any of these things have the beacons? Do I have the beacons? No. I would like to build these beacons. So the other advantage of this is I didn't count how many beacons the previous lab setup had, and I also didn't count... The other thing I want to know is, like, if I just have these things, like, this was the previous baseline, wasn't it? How many? 2.6 research speed? Okay. These ones we can't actually check until we've got more of these beacons in here. We can't actually tell how fast these things are going to be, but this one here is already, yeah, twice as fast, which is... But we also previously had like 30 labs, now we've got more than that. Okay, so... the complications are that now with all of this bot activity over here, like the thing about not being able to tell which of these things were full or empty, or why these packs weren't being used, was, as far as I understand logibot mechanics, and I don't understand them particularly well, and it kind of, most of the time, it doesn't matter for what I'm doing with it, is... This area here will now be a high concentration of bot usage, which means if we've got Logimall stuff over here, which we do, bots traveling backwards and forwards to meet any particular request is going to be an issue. But I think that's fine, because I think we're going to build... Is there... Yeah, there's kind of nothing else over here. I think I'm going to build more Logimall stuff over here. I think we're going to eventually push to the east and push all these guys out, try and find some water, destroy all these nests, claim some... I mean, I've already got resources. Resources aren't really a thing that I need. We've got kind of ways for trains to go around, not really super concerned about that. But yeah, we're going to kind of move the base of operations further out to one side, in preparation for going out this way. And that also means that we're going to... Yeah, that whole Logimall thing back in the core is kind of not where we're going to end up. How many of these are... Yeah, but we'll bring... Yeah, this whole thing over here was also always a temporary hack. How are we doing for modules now? 22. I think that's close to the number that I told them to stop at, which is fine. That means that, yeah, I can craft a nuclear power plant, and then also... Is this... Where is the fuel where I dropped that other reactor? Or the other centrifuge? This guy should be fine now, shouldn't it? Yeah. It's got a random collection of stuff, including the one important plutonium. So yeah. So next time we're going to be able to go and kick off some nests. Do these have anything in them, really? No. Okay, good. I don't want any of those here. Is that true? Whatever. It'll be fine. So how much science am I doing with all of these beacons compared to what I was previously doing? Because I'm not opposed, like, I'm quite happy That's production. I don't really care about production at this point. I want to look at the rates at which things are being consumed. Okay, so so I think this was where I was lab limited because I was doing a slow tech. And then here we are with the new build, which is no longer lab speed limited. So I think that means we're doing... I mean, these two of 13 are worth like 5 labs of what they used to be. So I think we're going to be happy with that for a while. This is also kind of at the limit of what the substation will power. I will need another substation up here if we're doing more stuff, but also we can just later, like if we get more science, we can slap that on there, be completely fine, put another couple of beacons in here, more than double our research speed, which is cool. Okay, moving on. Next thing, yeah, and also this doesn't really need any more than one cell to just get a ton of science done. And also because we're moderating these things via trains, we can just make science wherever we like, which is nice. Where am I going to... Maybe I go even further out. Or maybe I do... Let's go to this cell here and start making some upgraded belt, which is all going to happen by train anyway. Most of it's going to happen by train. Some of it is going to happen... Actually, where is the rest of that plan going to happen? Am I going to do terrible things here? Maybe. So I think I do belt upgrades here, and then just convert these... What is this? 4, 7... Maybe 6 tiles if we do this kind of weird rhombus lopsided hexagon thing. All of these things might later turn into more logimol. And then do some belt upgrades over here. Yeah, that sounds like a decent plan. Okay, so things we need for belts and belt upgrades. First of all, these guys need to get out of the way. And then these things will too, which is fine. We got a lot of bots. Yeah, things we need for belt upgrades. We're going to make the yellow belt here as well. That old build is going to disappear. So we need a lot of iron. That's always a thing we knew. We need the aluminium ceramic composite. We need fiberglass reinforced plastic. And lubricant. And then a couple of chips, which I might just logibot in. But I think we're going to need 1 per red belt, 8 per pair of undergrounds, 3 per thing. Do I train in all of this stuff? I think I kind of train in all of this stuff. I could also just move it around with a logibot thing. That is also compelling. Let's start with a train station, because that's how many of these things start, and this will give us 3 train stations. Like so, and then we want to get rid of this stuff because we're kind of not going that way anyway. We're probably going down here. But then we also want... Yeah, so we've got these fuel requests here, which is nice. How many of these? I think these probably... So the iron definitely needs to be a larger station. The ceramics doesn't. The iron probably wants to be the closest station, doesn't it? Yeah, probably does. And then probably also, do I want to unpack the iron the other way? I might want to unpack the iron the other way. In which case we want to go... Copy this so we can line it up. Or do we want the iron to go both ways? That's compelling. That's not a thing I've done a whole lot in this map, because there haven't been all that many train stations where we want to unload things both directions. But I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to have... iron here. This is not going to be a titanium request. This is going to be an iron request. Yep. Please iron, inhabit 1. Yep. This thing here then also wants to look at iron. I could have blueprints for all of these things, but I have not. And then, what is this thing's limit? It's still checking titanium for that as well, so we'll change that. Less than 1,000? Okay, sure. It's still only looking at these ones. It's not... We don't even need these ones linked. Okay. Ceramic composite, and then I don't think I'm going to use this one for fiberglass. I think I'm going to use this one for the lubricant, because the lubricant is kind of easy to move around. So this isn't going to be iron at all. Or this was already an iron. Stop, never mind. Lubricant. Then this one here needs to be requesting ceramic composite. Yes. Because I think part of this is... Where is that ceramic composite? Here? Yeah, this one is full. All of the stuff is backed up. Part of the reason for upgrading a bunch of belt... These were landmines? Yeah, whatever. Part of the reason for upgrading a bunch of belt is to start using these things so that we continue to process this stuff. So we continue to get out this iron and copper, which is the thing we need to make red chips, because red chips are still being made with iron that comes from this kind of offshoot. Yeah, there's this kind of side product processing thing. And I've also just noticed that all of these probably need to be upgraded as well. And then let's also upgrade all of these inserters, because there are holes on this belt, and some of these are not running, some of these are not running due to lack of coils. So we can do a better job of filling this belt. We'll get more red chips out. Do I want to upgrade these? Do I want to upgrade these all to prodmod 3s? I suspect I do. I mean, these guys are beaconed pretty heavily now, aren't they? Yeah, crafting speed 3.5, yeah. Let's find this thing and go from prodmod 1 to prodmod 3. All of those. Get a bunch more red chips out. How is the power grid? Power grid is still... Yeah, whatever. Moving on. Power grid's still pretty grim. Have I changed these to... Yes. These composites. Please iron. Okay, so I have in fact got all of these things changed quickly enough so that the correct trains will turn up. This is... Yeah. And then this one also wanted to check composites. Where... Yeah, it's going to be over here, isn't it? This is mod specific thing. Less than, I don't know, just 1,000 or whatever. Why are you not... Oh, you aren't powered because you needed a thing from somewhere else. Okay. There we go, powered. So now we can have trains turn up here. Yeah, we're getting some composites. That's nice. Probably only need half a belt of composites. So I think I'm probably taking the belt down this side, because that's the way that we'll have these things emptied last. Yeah, let's also worry about getting lubricant in here. Where is... Oh, the, down here is where the other lubricant train, isn't it? Isn't it? This is... Yeah. Where is... Here's going to be where that needs to go. Yeah, we're gonna have the lubricant over here because that's kind of the easier one to move about. All of these things require more belts and stuff. Fiberglass, if you'll notice, isn't on this list yet, but that's fine. We can also just that is... Yeah, that's actually the wrong way, isn't it? That's going to do the same thing that the red chips do with the blue chips. We need to be emptying this one here last. Okay, that's fine. We can just run this through there, sure. The iron, however, is going to need a different setup. We're going to need... Because I reckon we want at least 2 belts per side? Let's just take 1 belt. Are these guys still... yeah, this is what I thought might happen with some of these worms as these guys were expanding. Is these landmines are actually in range of the bigger worms. So when bots replace these landmines, these worms shoot at the bots and or landmines, destroy more landmines. This is one of the reasons why we're going to go smash these dudes. Yeah. So we've got this coming out here. We've got lubricant here, which is going to be fine. We can also just have a pump out here, and then we can run this... I don't know, somewhere up here, kind of doesn't matter. Just get it in the right general direction. yeah, how do I want to do this? Do I just do, yeah, because I think the rate at which I'm growing, by which I mean the general issues with doing this, that I'm having doing this stuff quickly, because a large part of this is just figuring it out, is that, oh, there's a lot of cliffs over here. I don't think I need more than 2 belts of iron. Okay, let's go back to, wait, this down here had, yeah, this is a nice station, isn't it? This station we shall have. I can go here and also here. And we will get, yeah, some of this can change slightly. Yep, and then we will have 2 belts of iron. Yeah, I guess we're going through here. I don't even think I mind balancing between these things, because all of these are going to be evenly taken anyway. This radar, I suspect, needs to move. Does it? Actually, no. We can just go around the radar. Okay. So we're going to have 2 belts of iron. We're going to have a half belt of ceramic. We're going to have lubricant turning up over here as well. The thing we need to do is, I don't have assemblers. Cool. Let's go and Control-C some assemblers. Because we want. Am I making? I'm not making coils yet. These are not the assemblers I want. Is blue science full? Blue science is full because I don't have red chips. Why don't I have red chips? Because you're just struggling to get through it. Well, you go. Where is the main base? It's past the reactor. It's over here somewhere. First off, you go there, and then you go to somewhere that requests red chips, and that will probably end up hitting one of these places. So that's going to be, oh yeah, I needed, here are some assemblers that I can Control-C. Because we want bots to bring us assemblers. I probably have beacons, yeah, so this is that worm destroying those mines again. This guy's going to be annoying, isn't he? Maybe I could just go and deal with him now. Yeah, we've got 5 more beacons to play with because we changed how... Yeah, we changed this lab setup so it has far fewer beacons, getting vastly more work done. And yeah, I think we're going to wait for the bots to bring us those things. And in the meantime, I've already got the rockets. In that case, I was thinking that I had to go back and pick up some more equipment to deal with this guy just kind of quickly. But I think what we're actually going to do is... These dead guys did all get fuel requests, so that's all fine. We are going to just wander over here. Get up a bit of a combat toolbar. And just kind of blast this dude in particular. Because he's kind of a nuisance. Yeah. We're going to do a lot more of this later. What is the evolution at the moment? It's still 0.64, yeah. I don't have any ammunition for any other kinds of things, but it's fine. Those guys, that nearly got all of them. You guys can have a rocket. I've got lots of rockets now. Yep, so that's pushed those dudes back a bit. That's all we're going to do at the moment. We're going to go on more of a rampage later. We just wanted to clear those guys out. And that means that we can hopefully... Yeah, so we hopefully won't just pointlessly lose any more landmines there. These guys might still re-expand. It's fine. Evolution is still not in a position where we are particularly concerned at all. Yeah. Here's... Do I have modules on me? I do have modules on me, so I just needed these assemblers. I mean, I could have also done that with a request chest, whatever. So we want a number of things. We want regular belt, we want undergrounds, we want splitters, then we also want... Are we going to do this with... I think we're going to try and do this with boxes in between, aren't we? So this here, yeah, this here will logistic filter for the thing we want, and then we can circuit condition things here. Yeah, then I wanted these to be able to set these recipes, and then to also remind myself as to what I actually needed for all of these parts. Because the things we need is a lot of cogs, which is why these guys are here. And then I guess we're also doing... Yeah, what else do I need? These ones all need... Actually, it's cogs and composite. And then... So if I could have a belt of cogs through here. Because these guys all need plate and cogs, and then also some other request chests over here for the splitters doing their fancy things. And then, yeah, we'll do this thing again, so we can change these recipes. Yeah, it's in, yeah, blue belt. Blue belt is the thing that I was like, what am I doing? I am not in this tab at all, usually. What are we up to? Yeah, so I think I want belt of cogs through here. Belt of ceramics and fiberglass through here. Belt of cogs through here. And then requester chests for the chips, and then lubricant over here. So then I need... Yeah, let's have bots bring those back. Have bots get this out the way. Then we just need to figure out... I mean, it's probably going to be a lot of cogs. In fact, I don't think I need these to be assembler 3s at all. I don't think I'm going to be needing it that fast. So in fact, I think we can just straight up go assembler 3s. Do we still have assembler 2s? Whatever, we're going to use assembler 3s, it'll be fine. We do want then a lot of cogs. And we've got 2 belts worth of iron. Maybe half a belt going here. I reckon... Yeah, I reckon if you're making cogs and you've got prodmods, this thing is spitting out an extra 40% productivity. So I reckon the way I figure out how many cogs I want here is these all can actually be upgraded to red belt later, can't they? They can, because we're actually getting into the red belt upgrade kind of stage of the world at the moment. Because I'm thinking I prioritize... Yeah, we prioritize this one. We prioritize this into the half lane of iron that these guys are going to get, and then we build enough chips to fully utilize... enough chips, enough cogs to fully utilize the other 2 lanes, and just have a lane of cogs here and a lane of cogs here and a lane of cogs here, and then just be getting on with it. We've also got to do... Let's also kind of do... Is it going to be easy to run this? Do I have anything else going through the middle? I don't think I do I? So I could actually just have these things like here. And this is kind of going to be easy. Is this going to be easier? Whatever, this is going to be what we do. Yeah, so if I've got... Yeah, I think we just hack this together. I think this is going to be mostly pretty fine. I don't think I want these here, and I think also... I think there's going to be a large number... There's a lot of not especially interesting circuit condition stuff to be doing about all these things, and then there's like setting all these filters for stuff, which is also not going to be particularly fun. And there's dragging all of this stuff out of the other networks as well. I think the other thing I want to do... I think, yeah, because given I'm saying, you know, the Logimall stuff is going to be here-ish, generally on the ribbon. We've got a lot of logibots doing a lot of stuff over here. We're going to have a lot of logibots doing stuff over here. I think the other thing I want is this stuff here is going to be where we put iron into the logistics network. Maybe some, yeah, whatever, that's fine. And then over here, this belt here is also going to be what we use to put the ceramic composite in the logistics system, because there's also still a lot of buildings that need, yeah, that contain ceramic composite in the things that they need. Where are we going to? Yeah, I think we're gonna figure out where this is gonna go, and it's gonna go. If I have it this way around, yeah, I like it here, because there's lubricant is already we're kind of already bringing the lubricant down the right hand side, so that's fine. Yeah, we're just gonna put that there. Do we want to bring it back a bit so this thing has maybe we do. Maybe we want to bring it back to, say, here. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. So this lane, because you're waiting on things, that's a decent reason. This lane wants to be through here. Probably these guys need stack and... Actually, no, they won't need stack inserters for this. They will need stack inserters for... Yeah, they'll need stack inserters for the cogs, but these elements we don't have quite so many of. And then I think what we're actually going to do, which side is this on? This is on the top side. Yeah, we're just gonna request a ton of fiberglass stuff. Yeah, not 50, more like 200. And then these guys can also just go on this belt. And that'll be all of these things getting everything they need. Except for cogs. Then we've got to do the cogs, which we can do by... Let's put this here. Run this in. And if we start with cogs here... Then, yeah, then we can have all of this stuff kind of working out. We're gonna need as much as stack inserters. These guys are definitely gonna need stack inserters. The next question is how are we gonna beacon these things, because these guys with their 4 prod modules deserve some kind of beacon. And I think the answer to that is gonna be, I think we're gonna go underground from here. Or do we just beacon... these things? Yeah, let's actually go... Let's keep that there and then beacon... Let's go underground there so we can have one of these little... One of these beacons that isn't big enough. Okay, so we're not going to do that. We're going to have a decent sized beacon here that's going to hit a lot of things. Yeah, I reckon that's going to work. And then we also want more cogs. This is actually... This is more cogs than are going to fit on... I could have just had iron in here, whatever. Yeah, power's also not done yet. It's also fine. Okay, more of these things. I also haven't figured out how many of these it takes to drain a belt, does it? Especially when it's beaconed hard. Never mind, I don't think we will. I think we're just going to run this down here, and instead of worrying about it, we're just going to... that's actually unnecessary at this point, isn't it? I won't need that yet at all. But maybe down here... if we need to do something like that. I think I just get this thing running and not even worry about that, and worry about... all of that later, and just just have stuff run and work. Yeah, so Bot's going to bring this. Bot's going to bring all these. This thing wanted to be cogs going this way. Yeah. And then these ones can probably afford to just be stack inserters, or just be fast inserters. These ones, however, want to be stack inserters because they've got a lot to do. And then this belt here has iron and cogs on it. Not like so. And I did say I wanted 2 belts of cogs, and we have not made 2 belts of cogs. But I think we get this running and just see how it goes, and then not worry about it. It's basically going to be the plan. Where are we? We currently don't have an output for... Yeah. We currently do not have an output for these things, and I think we're just going to make that transparent like so, and then we're just going to use some long-handeds, because why not? And then we probably need to... these are going to be on the wrong side as well. I guess I'm not putting a train station there, never mind. This thing can go here, and then we can have another one. Oh, just there. Okay. All of this is pretty fine. This thing wants... Yeah, but not... Actually, not the inserters, and actually, in fact, not any of those. And it doesn't need this many of these. That was not worth it. Oh, wait, no, I did want... No, I didn't want the fiberglass, because the fiberglass is turning up here. This is strictly just for chips. In fact, if this is just for chips, these guys need the same kind of chips, right? Yeah, these both need green chips. So here we're just going to request green chips. That's also way more than we want, but it'll be fine. We'll get through them. Yeah, so... A lot of the stuff isn't powered, that's kind of fine. None of this stuff is beaconed particularly heavily, but also whatever, it's also going to be fine. That last power pole added nothing. These ones here, however. So this is going to be, other than the fact that we need to set all these filters and then circuit condition a bunch of things so that they don't make too much. And then also check how many cogs we're making, and I think I need more cogs. I can put them here, yeah, and then we can have... Yes, and then we can have another one of these, like there, or whatever. None of that is particularly graceful. This is deliberately a second belt, so we can get more of these things in. This actually all needs to be over here, and then we just kind of do this kind of garbage. I have not thought about how many of these we're making. Oh wait, that was the other... Yeah, that was the other kind of big deal, wasn't it? It was... How are we going to do... Yeah, the other thing that I realized is this is where we want to be taking cogs out of the... Putting cogs into the logistics network. Because we're going to attempt to move all of the logibot functions kind of to this area of... Yeah, to kind of this side of the base. And you also need... Yeah, oh yeah! That's right. That's why these things are arranged like this. We've got to be able to do this as well. Which means that we're never going to... Like, recycled belt will never get upgraded into undergrounds or splitters, but I think I'm fine with that. I think we're just wandering away from that, because the next part of the plan for logibotting all of this is probably even worse. But I've had this idea that I kind of like. I don't really have enough stations for this. The thing I'm going to need for this is a bunch of active providers. Then I think I'm going to do a weird thing and get rid of some of this interface. And this is going to be the last thing to happen this episode. I'll tidy this stuff up in between as well, because there's now a bunch of rail parts that aren't going to work. But basically, I had this terrible idea of... I think those are the rail that we don't need. Yeah, let's design a new kind of train station for a bunch of logibot requests. You want to do... Oh, you don't... fine. I kind of want to just get a corner somewhere without having to copy and paste from one of the other things that was kind of broken. But yeah, we want a corner because we want to be able to figure out where this corner goes. Is that even more than we needed? No, that's like a basic corner. Okay. And then where is this going to fit? That there looks like it's a pretty good place to start doing some terrible new things. And so this is all going to have to be chain signal now? Yeah. But then also this... Is this the right side? This is the outbound side. I've set this up to be the outbound side. I think I'm okay with that. In that case... Did this actually need to be... I don't think it did. I don't think this would need to be... I think this one can actually stay as just regular signal and chain. And then it's this one being the intersection that actually needs to be... Yeah, this one needs to be chain. And then this one can... Yeah, that's going to work. And then... not like that. So the plan here, like, the thing to observe is I still have not got fiberglass in that the red belt needs. The red belt? The blue belt. Give me another nice clean corner. There we go. And the plan for doing that is going to be this interesting kind of disaster. This is an input one, isn't it? Because we had the output on this side, yeah. So we're going to have, first of all, we're going to have this insane train block running through the middle of this thing like so. That actually fits really nice. Yeah. And then, like, I'm pretty sure this is going to work, but be a disaster. The plan is straight up to go, like, here's a train station. Train stations bring us stuff, right? Here's an active provider chest that will... Do I have a stack of soda? Can I queue a stack of soda quickly, please, to demonstrate this thing? Yeah, all these guys are mostly running. Why do you not have... Oh yeah, because you're just random storage things got put in different places. Oh yeah, because you're filling up your requests. Sure. And then do we have... whatever. That's all going to do what it needs to. We'll upgrade those belts as well. Oh, we wanted to queue a stack and soda. Yeah. Yeah. This is how we offload a train, right? But what we're actually going to do is have a lot of train stations. And then how far does this train station go? Like this one... Yeah, give me this front one back because I need to figure out how far I can build this without having the end of this train spill out of this section. Because this is kind of... That there is the fourth carriage, isn't it? Like if I have a train here, that's 4 wagons long, which is the standard length of train that I'm dealing with, which means that I can have that many stations and name all of these things, these many resources, and then, yeah, you might have seen where this is going. This is where the first train station will be, and we are just going to actually provide everything that any carriage might deliver into an active provider network. And then, of course, we're going to need a lot of things here. We're going to need, first of all, we're going to need power. So let's also stitch in some power. And we're going to need a lot of logibots. So I think we're actually going to just go, like, let's have all of these all the way up the side. Is that all of them? There's a couple more, aren't there? So we're going to have a lot of logibots all the way up here. We then want... Where is my... Yeah, I need a lot of these things. Yeah, we're just going to go, here's a lot of storage. And all of these things are also already in, like I'm already just making these in the logistics network. Like these are being manufactured in bulk by logibots. It's, well, yeah, by my robots. It's fine. And then, like, let's do the fiberglass version of this one first. This is going to be a fiberglass request. Where's the fiberglass request? There. Enable train limit 1. This guy probably has... Yeah, so it's now getting a train arriving, which is, you know, potentially calamitous. None of these... There's not space to refuel any of these, but what we're going to do is have this roboport... Yeah, okay, I need to set... Need to do that first, and we're going to have set this roboport to read logistic network contents. So now I can have this train stop enable disable based on whether or not fiberglass is less than, say, 600 for some arbitrary number. So depending, now this is not looking specifically at these chests. This is looking at all the fiberglass available in all the network. I don't think it counts request chests. But basically, this will, if I'm doing a lot of, yeah, little spoilers, I'm going to be doing a lot of Logibot mall stuff around here, because this is where we're setting this up. And then certain key resources like iron and ceramics will turn up via train and just have dedicated places that they go and dedicated places that they end up. I wanted this in the network. Have I not actually put ceramics in the network here? I have not. That is unfortunate. Okay, we can do that by just copying this and putting it, you know, here. So we're going to have ceramics in the network here. So we're going to have two kinds of trains that will turn up here. First of all, yeah, if we can do all of this as well, we can just upgrade all of this stuff to red and all of this stuff to red. This is the first red belt in the base, which is pretty exciting. And we're using it to upgrade all of the rest of the belt to also red, which is pretty exciting. These guys, I don't think I've got any blue upgrade. Oh, this one wanted to be upgraded to red. Yeah, so that's going to be, you know, a lot of stuff. Let's also power on that. Yeah, and now this is doing everything that I wanted it to do. So this station is now disabled because we've got a lot of fiberglass that's being just dumped somewhere in the chests, wherever, don't really care. We can set up all these other stations requesting different other things. In fact, red chips is probably a thing we want to provide like this, because red chips just goes into a ton of different places. So this one is not present, okay. Let's have this one next, and we're going to make this one red chips. Please reds. Yes. Train limit 1. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to wire this. We're going to wire all these train stops together. And this one is going to enable disable if we have less than, I don't know, 600 seems like a decent number, because we're not going to use this disastrous setup for science. This is all just going to be Logimore stuff. We're going to have a bunch of different... How many different train stations do I have? I can have 23 different resources. In fact, there might even be another space at the top. It looks like I've got another space before a signal. Yeah, I do. So we can go here as well. So I can have 24 different resources called in by train, stopping wherever they are, wherever these wagons are. The stack inserters will pull stuff into our active providers. The bots, of which I now have a lot of logibots, I made some more logibots, will put all of those items somewhere in the storage network. It's fine. And then we'll control whether these stations enable or disable based on whether or not we've got red chips or fiberglass or any of the other things we need in the network. So that's going to be the long-term bots plan, and that is one of the reasons why I was happy redoing the science to be all bot science, and also why we're doing all of this belt upgrade logibot stuff over here. Yeah, I think we got some decent things done today. I think we're kind of moving into a late game kind of madness thing. The other thing I need to do, and I've got like 1,000 bots free, so I think we're fine with this at this point, is this somewhere down here. All of this is dead because copper. Yeah, none of it. So I need to work on the copper mining next as well, but it's fine. All of these things, like, we're going to get rid of all the other storage in all the other places, and all these things will just be brought way over to the east. I actually have construction bots free. That was unexpected. Yeah, all of this stuff, we're just going to end up moving all of it. Yeah, copper is really a problem, isn't it? I wonder if the labs are still running. I mean, I did have big supplies of... Yeah, we're out of yellow science. Everything else is fine except yellow science. And I wonder if there's more that the station has that the train can just go and get. No, because blue chips. This is the perpetual thing of yellow science versus blue chips in this base. Because we're only cycling... Where are you going? Oh, you're going... Don't go there. Go... First of all, go over here. And then go to somewhere that wants blue chips. Actually go to... like here. Because that way you will definitely give your blue chips to the yellow science, which is the thing we want. And then, yeah, this is also short of copper. So maybe next time copper smelting, maybe, I think they might set up some more of these train stations, so we're calling useful resources into these places. There's some more stuff to do. The thing I do need to do is get to handcraft another one of these nuclear reactors, so that we can go and then handcraft these portable nuclear reactors, so that then also we can go and put everything we want in our Power Armor Mark II, and go and, like, start some fights with guys. Oh, I've got science. Yeah, get rid of this out of my inventory as well. But yeah, I think this is going to be how we maul stuff from now on. We're going to have a bunch of train stations, a bunch of actor provider chests, bots pushing a lot of stuff around the place, a lot of logibots, a lot of construction bots. We'll move the entire base of operations somewhere out to the east, and then we'll go start some fights out to these. That's going to be how this plan works. This Evo is, yes, still not any issue at all. We're just going to stomp straight through these guys, especially if we have PDLs and area of effect rockets and things like that. Yeah, it'll be fine. Good times. Lots of stuff.